How many hands do we see? I'm gonna count for 5 hours. It's a Saturday. I'm gonna start counting at 3 p.m. The thing is, a few variables I didn't think of before like a minute ago. I know Council Bluffs, you know, a lot of hands go to the river, so the hands take a little longer. I knew that. I was about to say, right before I turned the camera on, a lot of very good dealers out here. There's not a huge turnover like there is in Vegas, so a lot of dealers here have been dealers for many years, but the World Series of Poker circuit is going on. So there are some traveling dealers who, I guess most of them are in the old buffet, which is where they're holding the tournaments. Some of them are dealing cash games though. This time around, the traveling dealers who are dealing cash aren't that great. One the other day, you know, there was a raise and the hand ended pre-flop and he just sat there because he was lazy, waiting for the shuffler to finish shuffling the other deck. He could shuffle by hand, his hands aren't broken, he just didn't feel like it. Some other dealers are so new they don't know how Bravo works. I'm not saying they're terrible people. The first guy was lazy. A couple other people just unaware how Bravo works, which just means they're new. Even some of them who talk about playing occasionally, it's weird that you deal and play and have no clue how Bravo works. So some of them are just new, which means we're not seeing as many hands as we would with an experienced dealer. I don't know if any of those dealers will be dealing my downs. It's gonna be 10 downs over 5 hours, so we'll see. It's like 10:30 right now, so in 4.5 hours, I'll start counting for 5 total hours, and then I'll talk to you in the parking garage after my session. All right, I just played, I think I played over 11 hours. What was it, 100? Let's make some room. 187 hands. There's the breakdown by the hour. In full disclosure, it was not 5 hours straight. I would count for 30 minutes, then jot down that number, and I did that 10 times. So it was not 5 hours straight through. It was like, you know, I counted for 2 hours straight, and then I went to eat, then I came back, then I counted for, you know, an hour straight, and then I went to the bathroom, and then I came back, and then I started counting a new half hour. So it was 10 separate 30-minute periods, 5 hours total, 187 hands. So I told you in the tips video, link at the top if you missed that one, tips were $177 in tips. I'm pretty sure this was the first time it was less than $1 per hand in tips, but you know what, still solid tip amount. If you don't want to go back and watch that whole video, $35.40 in tips. But 187 hands is, what, 37.4 hands? That's pretty good, 37.4 hands per hour. That's pretty good considering a lot of hands, you know, went to showdown. There were stretches where there were some chops, there were some quick hands, but still, there were plenty, and just based on feel and like instinct, plenty of hands, more than Vegas, that, you know, money went in all 4 streets, or there was an all-in, and all-ins, you need to take some time, not just, you know, the betting, that, you know, the all-in has to be counted, and like the pot needs to be pushed. It's a lot more that the dealer needs to do than a quicker hand, than a hand that ends on the flop. Also, we have some traveling dealers here for the World Series of Poker circuit, so some of them aren't accustomed to how frequently they do fills around here, aren't as accustomed to using Bravo. Sometimes like someone will ask what are the straddle rules, and they kind of pause and think and don't know, and the players tell them. So because of the traveling dealers that are in the cash game room, the normal poker room, things went a little slower during some of the downs than usual. So still, 37.4 hands per hour is pretty good considering all these other factors that I've mentioned. So that's it. 5 more keep track days in Council Bluffs, and then I will compare all 3 cities, Lake Elsinore, Las Vegas, and Council Bluffs. And remember, rice is a spoon food.